Hello everyone, we'll learn about events block in today's video. So what is an event block? Event blocks help to start the code process. It can have multiple stimulus such as you can click the green flag, press any key, press space key, press up key, down key, arrow key, or any key in the keyboard which gives a stimulus. You can press the sprite, or you can wait for a certain broadcast message, you wait for a loudness from your microphone, or you wait for a timer for how long the code has been executing. It also provides a flexibility to code multiple scenarios for the same sprite and execute separate code within the same project based on the input stimulus received. These are the sub-blocks of event code blocks, and we will be learning each of them in our today's video. And this is how our project space is going to look like. So now let's begin learning about this video. Hello everyone. So let's learn about the events block today, and we'll just use our favorite cat sprite for doing that learning. So events, if you recollect, for all the programs we had been using this when flag clicked. So event is nothing but only once something happened, do the rest of the stuff which we have coded up in a program. So like for example, if we use when flag clicked and we go and use one of our old sections, we say hello for a couple of seconds, and then maybe let's say we also use one more block called wait, and then we go back and say think. So only when we click on the flag is it's going to say hello for 2 seconds, and then wait, and then think, and then our code ends. So if you see, if I click anywhere else, even if I click on the sprite, nothing happens. So I have to click on the flag to make sure that whatever I have coded here gets executed. That's essentially the functionality of these events block. Now, if we want that a certain section of the code gets executed, irrespective whether I clicked on a flag or I click some other button, like in this case we say when space key is pressed. So just for, let's duplicate this code block and we'll just change the sequence slightly. So we'll just say if we press the space key, we want to think for 2 seconds, then we wait maybe 2 more seconds, and then we say hello for 2 seconds, and we finish our code. So now I'm going to press the space key, or first let me just press the flag, and then we are here. Now I don't want this block, so maybe let's just delete all of this, and then we click back flag again, and now the is gone. Now if you see, if I now click on flag, nothing is going to happen, but only when I press the space key, it thinks and then waits for 2 seconds and say hello. I'll again press the space key, it executes the code whenever we press a certain key. Now instead of space, we can choose up arrow, down arrow. So let's say if we click on up arrow, now if I click on any other arrow, click here, click on the flag, nothing is going to happen because it has to wait for my up arrow. And now if I click on up arrow, it executes the code. So this is pretty useful if, let's say, in future we code up a game or code up a story where we want a certain sequence of events only to happen once we press a particular specific key. Now we also can have when sprite is clicked. So let's say we take this code again, and let's just duplicate this section of the code. So we select it, we right click and we say duplicate, and we put it in here, we put this one here, and we'll say I am in the sprite clicked event now. It's a comment just to see, and say hello, sprite was clicked. This is just to show the difference between the two. Or we can just say any key pressed event. So now if you see, if I click on the flag, nothing is going to happen because this code base is empty. Maybe we can add something here just to see the difference between all of them, and we'll just say think and think for 2 seconds, and it will go away. So now we have 3 separate code sections within the same sprite, and depending upon how our input stimulus was, like if we click on the flag, it will think for 2 seconds and then stop the code. If I press the up arrow, it will say any key pressed event, wait for 2 seconds, say hello for 2 seconds, and then it will go away. And now if I click on the sprite, is when I am in the sprite event click now, and then it says hello, sprite was clicked, and goes for 2 seconds. So essentially these are all different ways on how we can execute a particular code block or code section depending upon what input stimuli we want. Now the next one is also pretty interesting. It says when the backdrop switches to backdrop 1. So first thing, maybe let's add few more backdrops to it. So let's add the Malibu beach. Let's add maybe, what do you want to add? Maybe let's say blue sky. All right, so now we just say when the backdrop switches to blue sky, we want to execute a certain code. And just to refresh our memory, what we can do is we can go to like a control block and maybe choose forever, or let's do that, and we'll just say we'll play the sound meow forever when we are in this block whenever we change to the backdrop of blue sky. So let's see, we'll execute the code with when flag click, we'll say hello, and then let's change from the looks block, we'll just say, we'll also put one more, maybe let's say I'm going to Malibu, and then we'll switch, I'm going to blue sky, let's say, or let's say I'm going to Malibu. Sorry, these are live videos and I don't edit it, so I make these codes on the fly. So I hope you appreciate this. And then probably after that she can say, now let me go to blue sky for 2 seconds, and then we'll switch the background. So we'll just use the switch backdrop to blue sky, and then you'll see this code will get executed, not before that. So let's click on the flag, says for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to Malibu, let me go to blue sky, and then the background changes. Now one thing probably is we should start with a backdrop. Let's say we'll go back to this code, let's go back to the sprite, and we start with the looks. We say switch backdrop to backdrop 1, which is the white one, which was the white background. So now you see it is at the white backdrop. It says let me go to blue sky, and as soon as we entered the blue sky, we saw this part of the code getting executed. Pretty cool so far. Alright, I'm not removing these other code blocks so that we can differentiate when a particular event starts executing, and we'll learn about when I receive a certain message and broadcast message and wait. We'll have a special video on loudness and timer because that requires a little bit more in-depth analysis of these two variables. So watch out for my next video on loudness and timer. So for now, let's get to the next event code, which is when I receive a certain message. So let's say we can choose a certain message. So let's say new message, execute the code. That's our message name. So now what we want to put in here depends upon what we want to when the certain message and where should be broadcasted. So for now, just so that we don't hear that shrieking meow sound, I'll remove this, and we say when we switch backdrop to blue sky in our main code, we can broadcast a certain message. So we'll just select, we can broadcast the message execute the code. And now in this execute the code, we can probably make the cat dance. So if we go back to this looks section, we can say next costume, and maybe we'll also put in a forever block so that cat really looks like dancing, and we'll also put in a small wait event so that it doesn't look like too fast. Alright, let's see how does this code execute now. So we are back on the first backdrop 1 things. I'm going to Malibu, let me go to the blue sky, and once she enters blue sky, this message gets broadcasted, execute the code. So as you could see, after that there was no other code, but now the code switches from here to when I receive execute this code, and now it is executing the code from this particular message. Now if we want the code to come back here, we should use the next event. Instead of broadcast, we can use this message broadcast this and wait, and we can just use one of them. So let's take this out and let's stop the code. We say broadcast execute the code, and now in execute the code, instead of a forever block, maybe we will do a next costume. Wait, we can duplicate this a couple of times. So next costume, wait, and it will just twice and come back here and just see that how this transition happens. Maybe we can play, say this, I'm done with dancing. All right, let's see how does this look. So it's thinking, I'm going to Malibu, let me go to the blue sky. She goes to the blue sky, execute the code, does the dance a couple of times and say, I'm done dancing. And we can just say this permanently, I'm done dancing, so that you could see the code pretty cleanly. Maybe, yeah, let's execute it once more. It says, say think for 2 seconds, I'm going to Malibu, let me go to the blue sky, switch the backdrop to blue sky, broadcast the message, and I'm done with dancing. So this was pretty quick because it's just half second. You can pause the video and see that it indeed executed this code and came back here. Or if you want, we can also just play a sound meow. Play sound meow until done, and then you could just see how the code switch happens and then it comes back here. So let me go to the blue sky, broadcast the message, it dances, plays the sound meow, and then she said, I'm done with dancing. Alright, I think with that we come to the end of the events block. As I said, we'll make another video on loudness and timer. Watch out for my next video. Until then, if you have any further questions, comments, please do drop me a note in my comment box, or you can always email me at learnscratchlearn@gmail.com. Until then, you all take care. Bye bye. See you soon. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. I look forward to your feedback, comments, and questions. You can reach out to me at learnscratchlearn@gmail.com or visit our website https://learnscratchlearn.wordpress.com. Please do check out the disclaimer posted on our website at https://learnscratchlearn.wordpress.com/disclaimer-note. Now, this is the disclaimer, I'll just read it for you. We are doing our best to prepare the content of this website. However, Learn Scratch Learn cannot guarantee the expressions and suggestions of the contents as well as its accuracy. In addition to the extent permitted by the law, Learn Scratch Learn shall not be responsible for any losses and/or damages due to the usage of this information on our website. Our disclaimer was generated with the help of the disclaimer template generator and the disclaimer generator. By using our website and YouTube channel, you hereby consent to our disclaimer and agree to its terms. The links contained on our website may lead to external sites which are provided for convenience only. Any information or statements that appeared in these sites are not sponsored, endorsed, or otherwise approved by Learn Scratch Learn. For these external sites, Learn Scratch Learn cannot be held liable for the availability of or the content located on or through it, plus any losses or damages occurred from using these contents or the internet generally. Under no circumstances will Learn Scratch Learn be responsible or liable in any way for any content, including but not limited to any errors or omissions in the content, or for any loss or damage of any kind incurred as a result of any content communicated on this YouTube page, whether by Learn Scratch Learn or a third party. In no event shall Learn Scratch Learn be liable for any special, indirect, or consequential damages or any damages whatsoever resulting from loss of use, data, or profits arising out of or in connection with the availability, use, or performance of any information communicated on this YouTube page, channel, videos, or blog. Visitors to this YouTube page may post videos and opinions in reaction to our videos. Any contents, views, opinions, and/or responses of questions uploaded, expressed, or submitted by the creators, sponsors, or advertisers of YouTube, including its web pages, message boards, and groups, or otherwise communicated through it, other than the content provided by the Learn Scratch Learn, are solely the views, opinions, and responsibility of the person submitting them, and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of Learn Scratch Learn. Learn Scratch Learn is not responsible or liable for the content that third-party publishers post, upload, distribute, disseminate, or otherwise transmit via YouTube. Thank you.